is just fantastic.
So from time to time I like to go and look at people I have covered many times over the years. You might have noticed Foodie Beauty. I'm really sorry the other day. There was very little going very quiet. Today we're going to visit Tess Munster, aka Tess Holliday, aka disgusting, but a person of interest because her commentary on TikTok, while not getting as many views, because yes, this is what happens when you are disappearing into obscurity, not physically, because there's no version of it where you can. You ply your trade on places like TikTok, complaining about comments and discrimination where you find it, which for Tess is in everything. When the Overton window politically shifts, so does the societal norm, and things that were once considered are now becoming more prevalent. Tess likes to highlight this because she wants it back where it was.
I'm sorry, but what in the fresh hell is this?
Well, that to me looks like a cover for Vogue, where they have hit the nail on the head for diversity, equity and inclusion. As far as race goes anyway. Well, the ones that apparently matter, and look the best on a cover that can be airbrushed to perfection. I'm guessing for this to make sense, the thing missing is that if you put all those people together, you could represent them. Well, certainly in space coverage, width-wise.
Fashion gets real. Creativity for everyone. Isn't everyone so creative?
I'll be honest, my limited understanding of fashion would tell me this looks like a casual look. There's not much creativity going on when you just use white and a pair of jeans, says the guy who wears a hoodie all the time. Obviously there's some sarcasm here and resentment from Tess. No doubt the work, the well, is drying up for her. Give it time, and if she hasn't already got one, I fully expect her to explore if this all fails and she's running out of money. Only Fupa Fibre failed adult film fat actor. Account. Page. Doodah. Ew.
I just want to know if the creativity is in the room with us, because the lack of diversity on this...
Just to be clear, she's placing emphasis on diversity of size as opposed to diversity of ethnicity. The thing is, print is dying. All companies need to explore, with inflation rising and costs going up and share prices going down, they need to explore appealing to the widest common denominator, not the people who are the widest, because that isn't a large enough market. Vogue should, because of the shift in culture, focus on what is considered normal and or acceptable. To be super morbidly obese is not. I'm going to keep saying that, because I think it's wrong to be that and to promote it under the guise of fat acceptance or body positivity. Since I firmly believe in no lives mattering, this is all kind of redundant to me, but do please continue with the sarcasm and the bitterness. Your tears are delicious.
Especially because the cover says creativity for everyone is baffling.
Only if you're super morbidly obese and believe society should always cater for you as well, or to you as well. Your size is not the norm for the majority of people in many nations. Arguably the majority. To be your size is, while a freedom and a luxury, unhealthy and bad for you, and it should no longer be promoted. Vogue should, like everyone else, go out of their way to cater to those who are average, and perhaps someone slightly over or slightly under. I'm not saying that those in the picture are average, by the way, but they've gone with the most picturesque or photogenic, facially and bodily, as possible, because, let's face it here, the damage done to the mess of your torso would be very hard to Photoshop to make look good. No offense intended, but that's a reality you need to accept.
They have one model that has a darker skin tone. It's all the same body type. When is it getting real? Because this is real crappy.
Stupid because your eyesight is faulty. By the way, you are assuming they are white presenting. Mixed race is incredibly common. In fact, I'd argue a vast number of them are in fact mixed race. You've gone with darker on purpose to highlight the fact there's only one that's a lot darker, ignoring the person in front that is slightly lighter and so on. You're not paying attention to those who are of Asian descent, and then you're hyper-focusing on the weight, size, lack of representation aspect. It's cute, isn't it? How does it feel to be unemployed?
This is real crappy. This is real silly. It's real silly.
You do realise, though, for a vertical image, there's only so much space width-wise they can use, And no offence intended, but you would take up, if you were stood next to them or in front of them, a rather large portion of that cover. They have to again appeal to the widest market, not the people who are the widest in the market.
This is absolutely just not okay. This is not
Raven?
what we collectively want to see in fashion.
How can you, with your minimal audience on TikTok, be certain of that? You don't have the presence you once had. You're still a name that is recognised, yes. But let's face it, now you ply your trade on TikTok, pumping out videos responding to angry comments. You getting increasingly more irate while trying to be above it. But you applying your trade still trying to push the very thing that does not appeal to the wider market. Therefore, you are always going to be a bit of a token. You'll amount to nothing and you will achieve very little. Your activism on TikTok is exactly that. Irrelevant.
There's so many models that are so diverse that could make this cover just... And where are they? They're not working, I'll tell you that, because I'm sitting in a Red Robin parking lot right now, meeting with a friend. Not on set.
It's a very weird flex to say that you're not there, which comes across as bitter. It could be your activism has made it so that no one wants to employ you, because you yourself have poisoned the well for yourself. A form of self-sabotage. I don't think many companies would want to align with you. H&M have in the past and you crapped on them. You don't have a good track record in your favour. You are a very bitter person. You genuinely believe you're something special. I promise you, you're not. It's why you're on TikTok. It's where you belong. In a few years' time, I do fully expect you to start doing NPC live streams to make ends meet. But you'll be sat the entire time and the only part of you that'll move is your mouth, which I guess is quite appropriate, all things considered.
Not on set, like so many of my friends and colleagues. I don't understand. I don't know if this is because this is what Zach Posen sees for the future of fashion, and maybe this is what he saw for his vision for Gap.
Well, companies like to do this thing called research. What they do is they pull a load of data together. That data will then allow them to make sure their company is still sustainable financially going forward. The best way to do that is to appeal to the masses, if you can. For Vogue, it's not just about fashion, is it? But you still have to appeal to the wider market, as I've repeatedly said. Your bitterness in this, for yourself and your colleagues, but mostly yourself, is honestly the most delicious thing I've had in a while.
We haven't traditionally seen a ton of, diversity and inclusivity from Gap, but we have seen varying amounts throughout campaigns, especially the last few years. We are kicking off 2025 with this to look up to. Give us something to be excited about.
I like that in this respect, you think you would give the people something to be excited about. Unless I'm mistaken, Vogue doesn't generally cater to the fetish market of feeders, feedies, because I don't think that appeals to the masses. I don't think it also makes it a point to appeal to those who wear 4 to 6X clothing. At that point, you're just wearing a tablecloth or a tapestry. Now, there is a follow-up video to this, replying to a comment, and that is where I'd like to go next.
So, what are you trying to say? I am confused.
Well, you can't be that confused, Tess. You made a video responding to it. Low-hanging fruit would certainly apply to this if you are confused. Let's face it here, you want to use this to prop yourself up by humble bragging about all that you've done since you rose to fame, became notorious and infamous.
Because I have been on the cover of multiple magazines and I've been featured in Vogue.
Yes, well, mistakes were made, no doubt. No offence intended here, but this isn't a flex. People bragging about being on Vogue are the same that still brag about being in Playboy. It's not a flex anymore. Just because you've done that before does not mean you are suitable for the now market. You were considered suitable for the then market. Additionally, much like any market, you occupy the realm of model, fashion, that thing, right? Okay, well, your market does rise, plateau, and fall at some point. Some happens faster, some it happens over a longer period of time. Some have careers that go on for decades. You're not one of them.
But, I mean, go off. Also, pretty sure models eat all kinds of places.
They do, but some models don't eat at all. They photosynthesize. Some take in fluid through osmosis, in fact. It's remarkably common. in your case, I think the mockery comes because where you were once lauded and championed, you're now seen as a budget model. The model they hire when there's no one else, and you're a lot cheaper, provided they give you a decent rider.
Like maybe Red Robin. I mean, that's where my son picked.
No offense intended, and I had a bit of a laugh trying to get on the Red Robin website to look up their burger food. But using your son makes it seem like he's your shield. Perhaps don't reference him when you're responding to a random comment. Just a piece of advice when you keep your family away from things. I know you're trying to make yourself seem more human, but based on your eating habits, you're not. And yes, I made that joke because I don't care.
And wanted to go eat, and I don't know, I wasn't like really stoked about it, but they have endless fries. But then they like brought out our food, and there were like 5 fries on my plate, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, they must have known you were a model then, because that was at least 3 fries higher than what they should normally eat for, well, to be a model anyway. Clearly they were helping you get into some kind of boot camp to get back into your modelling best. Granted, your modelling best was an enemy for the Ghostbusters, but it's still your modelling best and you know your market. An ever-dwindling, irrelevant market.
Kind of like how I felt when I saw that American Vogue cover for this month. I was like, what? I want more. This is crappy. So I don't really get your comment. But yeah.
The silly thing here is you fully understood the comment. You just want to seem like you're removed from it. The problem is, because you're responding to a comment on TikTok like virtually every creator that has to pump out 7 to 8 videos a day just to get one video on the For You page, you are desperately clawing at that and using it to prop yourself up, seem like you are bigger than you are. Physically, yes, but in the sense of relevancy, you're not. You're one of us lowly oiks. Congratulations. It is well earned, well deserved. You are a smeghead, and you deserve to be like us. Although you are double smeghead, because you got greedy when 5 fries wasn't enough. As a final thing, I'd love to know what you all think. Do let me know in the comments down below. I will be streaming on Twitch tonight. Hope to see you there. It'll be a bit later, because my friend is going home and I'd like to say goodbye to him. He would leave normally when I'm streaming, so I'm not going to stream until he's gone home. Thank you to everyone that sent messages yesterday wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciated that. I really enjoyed last night's stream. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.